What is going on, YouTube? Today I got myself some ooey, gooey, creamy, cheesy mac and cheese. I just typed in mac and cheese on Google and I don't know any mac and cheese places around here. And I seen Montana's and I'm like, okay, let me just go to Montana's. I haven't been there yet, like for a video. And mac and cheese is a good idea. So let me just try it. So right here we got the mac and cheese. We got some cornbread too with it, which is actually pretty interesting. I think that's cornbread. I don't think I've had cornbread before, but I'm about to try it now. It's some exciting stuff here. Looks good. It smells good too. I love the smell of buffalo. I know some people don't like it. I love it. But before we get started, guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, comment down below if you want to try anything to talk about. I'm down to do that. As always, check out the timestamps in the description. So let's just get a first bite here. I want a good looking first bite. Ooh, that's pretty good. And let's do this. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The buffalo chicken's good. Got a nice crunch to it. It's pretty fresh. I love the buffalo sauce, as always. Now, the mac and cheese itself isn't the best mac and cheese I've had. But what can you really expect from a place called Montana's or like Montana's, right? For those who don't know, Montana's just like a regular food chain here. It's kind of like a Kelsey's or Fiona McCool's like I've done before, Moxie's or whatever. It's just like it's part of the Cara brand, which owns like Kelsey's and like a bunch of other places. So it's not too bad. I feel like the mac and cheese isn't it's not really seasoned. I feel like it's not seasoned. Here's put macaroni in, cheese sauce, done. But you know what? I'll give it a pass because it also has the buffalo chicken. So wow. I also love when macaroni and cheese has like that cheese crust on top. It's so good. Try the cornbread here, nice and cold. Well, it's not cold, but I've definitely not had this before. So it's pretty good. Honestly, kind of reminds me of carrot cake. I'd much rather carrot cake. It's got some graininess in it, so it's pretty good though. No, this was a good idea. Some mac and cheese. But anyways, how was your guys' day today? It's my day off today. Thank God. Feeling burnt out is definitely real. I hate every second of it. And it sucks because some people, when they take vacation and stuff like that, they look at it as a time to recover. I hate looking at vacation and like time off as time to recover because like you take the 5 days off, 6 days off, week, 2 weeks, and you come back. And some people are like, oh, you're energized, refreshed, and ready to work. And it's like, I'm not. I'm just like depressed and I'm back at work. But it's like, I know most people feel that way though. It's so crazy that people have such a mass distaste or disinterest or negative thoughts on something particular in our society, like working, and it's like still a part of our society. So it's like, should it even be in our society if it's something that's so negative that people hate generally? Yeah. I don't know. That's not the way life is. But anyways, something I haven't talked about in a while is anime. And the reason for that is because I just really fell off of the anime. Not liking it, but keeping up. Like, I just fell behind and I stopped watching it just because I got like super busy, and then like shows came out. I'm super behind. But now, like, I finished Hell's Paradise. I finished Mob Psycho when it came out. I finished Hell's Paradise. I made a video on that. But one of my favorite shows, I kind of let it sit on the back burner because of Netflix, for one. So Netflix likes to do this thing where they release shows in parts. That's what happened with the final version of JoJo's. They released in 3 parts, which is so annoying. There's really 50 episodes that were already done. They could have just done week by week by week. But I feel like since they did that, they killed off any hype that I had. Because I remember people remembered JoJo Fridays. Like, JoJo would come out on Fridays. And I remember when it first came out, part 6 first came out, it was everywhere. Like, people were talking about it. But then when they stopped it and they're doing another part, people stopped talking about less. To the point where when the 3rd part came out, I didn't see anyone talking about it. And I feel like the last part of this was so significant because it was the end of like the main series. But I digress. So I just finished part 6 not too long ago, and I already kind of knew what happened in it, like the gist of it. But when I tell you, I already missed the show. It's one of those shows where I miss as soon as it's finished. Like Summertime Rendering, I remember when that show finished, I missed it like right when it's finished. Same thing with this. I know JoJo's isn't done. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for people who are like, what the hell is JoJo's? I know it's not done, but it's done with the main series. So it's just like thinking back to all the parts, you're just like, wow, this show was really good. Like, obviously some parts are better than others, but for the most part, it's really good. And I really like the way it ended. I'm gonna just say spoiler warning, just in case I say a spoiler by accident. But like this one, I really like the setting in it. It was set in Florida in a jail, which is super cool. The one thing about the fights in this one, I feel like the fights in this one aren't as convoluted as the other fights in other series. I know a lot of people in this one are saying the fights in this one are convoluted, but I feel like they're not. I feel like they're pretty straightforward until the end, where they started like doing stuff and they're like explaining, oh, like this is what happened here, this is what happened here, this is how this person survived in some way, and it's like, how do they survive? But it's definitely good. I definitely give the part 6 a 9 out of 10. Like, my order for my favorite is probably like part 4, part 5, part 6. No. Part 4, part 2, part 5, part 6, part 3, part 1. Part 1 was like all right, but like part 1 took me like months to get through because I'm just like, what is this show? I'm on the opposite side. I know some people love it, but JoJo's was really good. The main character, Jolene, was really cool. She had a cool ability, very much in the JoJo nature, and I really like the concept of like how it ended, which is like this whole thing of, you know, a little bit spoilers. It's just the whole thing of like his stand, like evolving, creating another stand, hitting these like certain circumstances, and kind of resetting the universe, right? I guess it was kind of like a soft reset because the people who are from the previous universe come to the new universe too. But it's like basically his ability is to accelerate time so fast and so much to the point where the universe ends and begins again. And it creates a new universe, and it keeps doing it. But the people that like die don't come back, and it ends with the main antagonist dying. I'm not explaining it very well, but it ends with the main antagonist dying, and then the universe doing a final reset with like the main cast of part 6 just being different people because it's like an alternate universe, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting. And then this opens us up to, doesn't necessarily open us up to the 7th and 8th and 9th part, because those ones are a completely different universe, but apparently those ones are very good. Like the manga for them, apparently very good. And apparently Steel Ball Run is like the best one, which was like the 7th one to date that's coming out, and he's still writing, he's still going, which that just shows passion, because he's been doing this since like the 80s and just keeps writing more and more stories, and it's like, wow, this is really good. As terms of like the characters in it, how do they fare against the other ones? I feel like the cast in this one, aside from Jolene, because Jolene I think is like a very likable character, I feel like the other cast, not that they're not likable, but they're less likable than like in the other shows, in the other parts. I feel like the cast in like 4 and 5 and 3 and 2 And I guess, I don't know if one has a cast really, if you think about it, but like they're all so likable compared to these guys. Cause like some of them were kind of annoying. Like Hermes was kind of annoying. Anastasia was kind of annoying. Weather forecast, my guy. Emporio is my favorite guy. Hot take, but I like how the show ended with Emporio being like the one who's like the one to end it, right? I thought that was a really good concept, has a really good idea, because Emporio's like a kid, but he's like well beyond serious. He knows how to drive and things like that, and he was with them through the whole thing. So I think the ending was good. I feel like it was a happy ending, and I feel like it was a good send off to the series. Of course, in any fan base, people aren't gonna like it. The animation this season was good as always. The character design was good as always, in my personal opinion. The sound design in classic JoJo fashion is really good, as it usually is too. Like David Production always does a good job with like the sounds, especially for like Fire Force and stuff. Whew. Those sounds make me so happy. With that being said, even though we're still gonna get like the 7th, 8th, 9th, and then like probably 10th, 11th, 12th part, it still is sad to see the show go, especially a show that's been around for so long. I think it started in like 2011, 2013, and it's now finishing 10 years later. It's been such a wild ride. I started watching like halfway through season 3 of it, and I like liked it since since I finished the first one. I started the second one. That's when I was like hooked onto it. And it's just sad to see a show that's been around for so long just be done, at least the main like characters in it, because the show is just iconic in so many ways. Like the poses, the character designs, what they wear, and things like that is so iconic. The fighting is referenced to so much, like the muda, like the punching and stuff like that is referenced in so many shows. It's actually crazy. It's like the villain is iconic too, Dio, just being like a generational nuisance, just literally messing with generations since like the 1800s or whatever, when Jonathan was around, just messing with them up until like 2010, 2013, 2016, whenever the show takes place, right? Now the Steel Ball Run universe is like a parallel universe, but a different universe. And I can't wait to see what they do from that. I don't know. The show's really good. Obviously, like I said before, it's not the best JoJo's to me, but it's definitely really good. It's definitely a good watch. And when it started like getting to the end of the season, of season 6, I was like, wow, it's really ramping up. Like some craziness is happening here. And it's like, there's parts that make you like feel sad in the show, but there's parts that make you like, okay, this is good, this is happy. Like, I feel like a good show, whether it's anime or real show or movie, like can pull people's emotions and play with them like they're a puppet. If you can master the art of making people feel a certain way through their emotions, through what you're showing them and what you're saying and things like that, then I think you've got a great show. I think you got a great book. I think you've got a great piece of media. So not many movies and shows stuff could do that, because I've watched so many shows and so many movies where people die and I'm like, okay, and like I don't feel anything for this character. And that might be the intended purpose, at least at the very beginning. Like if someone dies at the very beginning, you're like, who's this person? And it's like serves a plot point. But like sometimes you'll have like characters and they'll die and you'll be like, I don't care. Good. Like Prison Break, when the officer died. Not Mahone. I don't think Mahone died. The other guy, the bald-headed guy, the one who used to be a CO and like a really annoying one. When he died, like holding up that log, I was so happy. I know some people didn't like it. Some people were sad. That guy was a douchebag for the whole show up until that part. So annoying. I hated him. I was happy when he died. I was like, good, you should sacrifice your life for these people because you're just such a bad person. Even when they try to make him relatable with his like relationship to his mom, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, get this guy out of here. But last bite here. That's good, last bite. All in all, the show was amazing. I'm gonna miss it. Like I said, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's definitely not my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. Like part 4, part 2, I'll probably give like a 10 out of 10. And this one in part 5, I'll give like a 9 out of 10. And then I'll give everything else an 8. But yeah, that was Montana's, the creamy mac and cheese with buffalo chicken. I really liked that. I thought it was good. I ate the whole thing, and like I didn't even think twice about it. I'll probably give like a 7.6. 7.6 out of 10. That's pretty good. Definitely if you have Montana's near you, try checking that out. Maybe if you go there and you're like, I don't know what to get, Try the mac and cheese. Maybe you won't be disappointed and you'll really like it. Who knows? But remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. Leave a comment down below if anything you want to try, anything you want to talk about. Now, as always, check out suggested videos in the side. And yeah, Jojo's part 6, 9 out of 10. Creamy mac and cheese, that's what it's called there. 7.6 out of 10. And this is first true review. Peace.